Bienvenue, willkommen, bienvenidos, and welcome back to Crawler Canyon's presentation of the Invitational. The Invitational is, of course, a no-holds-barred, six-gate sort of affair in which every rig has the opportunity to go into mortal combat with every other rig. There are no handicaps. Some of the gates are potentially impassable, and some stuff is probably going to get broken. So sit back and prepare yourself for the spills, chills, and thrills to be found within the Invitational. Scoring is, as always was, 7 points for a gate strike, 10 points for a rollover, and 2 points for a reverse. There are no gate points, so a perfect score on a run is 0. So now that you know what you need to know, get ready for the next group in the next round of the Invitational.
And this is the final group in round 2, Two-Factor Obliteration. This is, of course, Group E. Group E being the only 4-competitor group composed of the Banana, Gate Rover, Lil Fella, and the recently monikered Team Bearcat. The rules are the same because the game is the same. Before they face the rocks, they must face their fate at the hand of the spinner. The spinner has 4 to choose from in this first pick, which is good because the spinner has 4 quadrants on it, and it's sometimes difficult to tell who it's landed on when there's only 3. And that is pretty much Team Bearcat. We're going to say that's Team Bearcat coming up first. Team Bearcat will run first and last. They are the bookend. That takes us down to the next 3. Need to really throw some grit in that spinner as it gradually comes around to pick who will run second and second to last. And it is Little Fella. Yes, it stopped in his quadrant, I would say. That just leaves it down to Gate Rover and the Banana. Who will go last and first? So the advantage is really to be the one who ends up in the middle. And that advantage will fall on Gate Rover, as the Banana will go last in the first round and first in the second. Well, in halves. Let's call them halves instead. So that, of course, takes us back to the Giant and the Beast. And the second longest vehicle in the competition will take the course, and it would be the longest thing that only has 4 wheels. I think it also has the largest wheels. And it is not specifically a rock crawler. This is indeed a rock bouncer. And the Ryft is being asked to do something it isn't remarkably good at, even with a 2400 kV censored castle system. You get a decent amount of rollback. Obviously, the Ryft will only be using first gear here. And the clearances that Team Bearcat has, better in the middle than at the ends, certainly. It's very wide. You kind of have to bounce it everywhere. And it's got itself into a bit of a situation, but landed with aplomb. I don't know if that was a reverse or not. We'll see how that was scored. It's going to zoom around, and I think it's going to take the usual approach here, yes, to come up through the bridge to complete Gate 3. A lot of noise coming off those super swampers. And with the rear tire low, the front tire, I don't think Bearcat is going to have the power to make that turn. The Ryft does not have a fantastic low speed turning radius. I don't actually know if it'll be able to make this turn. It has a very boat-like It has a very boat-like turning radius, which lends to its width. The fact that it does not have a tremendous amount of steering throw. Just gonna fall off there. There's sort of a theme here in Group E, which is the vehicles that ended up in Group E. They ended up in Group E for a reason. They're also ending up in Group E, where 12 other rigs have been through here, and some of them have mistreated this section as badly as Team Bearcat is mistreating it right now. And the thing of it is, Team Bearcat, appears to be making a noisy mess out of it. But at the same time, hasn't flipped over or hit anything yet. So Team Bearcat is still sitting on a 0. So we'll see how they manage this with, the approach that a rock bouncer would take. Opts to both murder Gate 4 and flip over. So how quickly, as Blue Sky High showed in a previous group, how quickly scores can change. More transitional areas that need attention. And we've rolled it again. So Bearcat strong through the first half, and has to now squeeze itself between the two markers for Gate 6, which are about the width of this rig, and as I mentioned, does not have the finest in low speed control. But is he going to pull out of the end through the bucket with absolutely no problems? So Team Bearcat, 3 reverses, 1 gate, 1 roll, and 1 gate max, because he rolled over twice in 1 gate, giving him a total of 42. Let's see if little fella can challenge that. And we've really gone opposite spectrum here. I think little fella would fit inside of the Ryft's wheelbase. And he's got the smallest tires in the competition, and he has pinned himself in, but he is not one to quit. If there was an award here for tenacity and just an almost fanatical inability to give up, that would go to little fella. But he is officially stuck there. So he is, I believe, either maxed Gate 1 or retired Gate 1. Either way, he's now belly high going into 2. This is really territory not suited to an MST CMX on 1.55s. He doesn't have a remarkably high CG, but he's also very light. His wheels are very small. And I believe he's got the windshield stuck in there. So he's rolled and he will be reset back. Hopefully he will attempt another line here. But mind you, so he's sitting on 10. He's already struck that gate. So a reverse will bring about a gate max here. And I believe he's stuck right there. So he's going to try to power out of it, as we know little fella will, because he won't quit until someone makes him quit. He's already pulled the maximum number of points for Gate 2, so he's gate maxed on 1 and 2. And it does not look like he's showing forward movement the rules here at the Invitational are fluid and dynamic, because with such a varied class of vehicles, we don't really know what is going to be required until it's required, until things actually happen. So let's see if fella can stay up high. If he drops a tire down, kind of like that, yeah, he's pretty much doomed right there. But luckily, he's small, so it's a long fall, but he lands in the correct orientation. As I don't know if anyone has landed in the incorrect orientation in the tunnel yet, but fella is certainly not out of the woods, as this little transitional section has been chewed up by the 13 vehicles that came before him. But he rolls nicely down into the tunnel again, comes back out, and is now looks like he's considering taking a completely different approach to this. Yes, we haven't seen anyone attempt this particular angle yet. Now, there are arrows on the gate markers, and the arrows denote that you must pass through a gate marker in the direction of the arrows. So what would appear that fella is doing here is he's going to pass through the gate this way, and then he is going to reverse through the gate. So he is technically passing through the gate in the correct direction. He's taking a 2-point hit for the reverse. But he did indeed clean gate 3, and now he has to try to attempt to navigate gate 4, which gate 4 in Giant of the Beast and gate 1 in Undertaker have proven to be the most difficult gates for effectively every competitor to pass through. And those little tiny tires are not an advantage here. What is an advantage here is that he is very light, so he's not falling in. And if he can stay clean here, he's going to clear gate 4. So an unlikely outcome there. Let's see if he can angle himself out through 5. It's a little high there. Takes it around. Too grippy for his tires to navigate a little no reverse nose wiggle, but he clears 5 without an issue. And let's see how he does on 6. It's tough to guess whether or not the bucket will be kind, as he is about the size of the bucket, so I think he will manage to completely fit himself in there, and it looks like he's actually stuck. I don't know if he has enough motor torque to pull out of that. He's kind of wedged into the fence there. But he manages to push his way through. So again, fella proves that he's actually good at some things. That graphic is wrong. It should say 2 gate knocks, along with the 4 reverse, giving him a total of 46 points. Gate Rover rolling out to see if he can improve on that. Gate Rover has had a tough go of it in the Invitational. But he recognizes that he is what he is. He is a vehicle built to accommodate a custom-painted Traxxas Defender body. And the thing that most holds Gate Rover back is the fact that he is fitted with a custom-painted Traxxas Defender body. Because it's literally like 35% of the weight of the vehicle. And it causes him to roll over, as he did right there, and he attempted the Traxxas Cyclone, but he is stuck nose first into a rock. So he managed to clean gate 1, pulls a rollover, but he's not alone in having rolled over there. But it's really not the way he wanted to come out of the gates. So let's see how he does on clearing gate 2. It's pretty sideways there. He has a lot of steering angle, courtesy of those element axles. He has a decent amount of ground clearance. His CG is actually quite low. The Hotstorm wheels are heavy. He's fitted with an Artful Dodger's Fox belly. He has some advantages. The problem is, his advantages they don't combine to form a strong enough Voltron to defeat the beast that is his own body. But as he was built for that body, which, if you've watched this channel before in the non-competitive entries, it's sort of a running theme where vehicles are built to accommodate a specific body. And into the trench. He ends up facing the wrong way, but just by a hair's breadth misses Austin Powersing himself into the corner, plenty of steering angle, but he knows that he's top heavy, so he's going to take it real wide and come all the way down to the bottom, and I'm sure take that right-hand approach up to get across the bridge. But wisely, much as I think Daphne would, take a higher cut up that line. At most, it might cost you a reverse to actually line up with the tunnel. But is he going to get out of this? His spate of bad luck continues. Can he drop in? Trying to do anything to maneuver himself. Slides down. Oh, this is an Austin Powers moment here. He is really... There's a one reverse. Gets out of it with one reverse. That is thrifty on the points there. Almost does himself in. You can see that I wouldn't say... And now, after a couple rides down into the trench, Gate Rover is taking the Lil Fella approach here, which I think does not bode spectacularly well for his potential future placement in the overall scoring of this competition. But you never know. Everybody has a good day and has a bad day. Daphne had a couple bad days in the raid. Yella had a very bad day in the raid. So, provided that his score isn't the worst and he's not eliminated, he will be eligible for the elimination round, and he's got every bit as good of a chance as anyone else to make it through the elimination round. And I think at this point, he's just got the one rollover. I don't know if he cleared that gate or not, but I'm sure the official scorers know, and we will find out together, provided that the graphics department got the cards correct for this run. He's having a bit of an issue here, getting up to 5. Rear end sliding a little bit. I'm going to say he's going to pull through here. Oh, that's coming close to 6. Opts for the reverse. 2 points is indeed better than 7. Doesn't touch any markers on the way through, so it's just... It's down to the bucket to get through gate 6. And we'll see how he does here. We'll see how harmful that rollover was right at the beginning. Oh, and there's the touch. Right there at the end. It was a relatively clean run if it required some tricks to get there, and he pulls a 7 right at the end. 4 reverses, 1 gate, 1 rollover, 25 points. It's not terrible, it's not great either. Last up here and first up next is the Banana. The loudest competitor in the field because he's the only one that makes his own noises. The Banana behaves as the Banana should. If given the opportunity, he will assault obstacles with more power than is necessary and more power than is probably prudent. But there's nothing wrong with going with your strengths. So the Banana here is trying not to run over gate 1. got a bit higher on the fence than I think he would have liked. But doesn't have an awful lineup for gate 2 here. Well, now he kind of does. Because, again, rigs built specifically for certain bodies. And that means the Banana gets full width bumpers. Full width bumpers and a big old Jeep body. He's pretty hung up there, and that is unfortunate. Because if he had rolled all the way down, he might have gotten out of it without using that reverse. But that's still a lower total for the first there so far. Things are looking a little iffy here. There's a lot of Lexan hanging up on rocks. It's pretty stuck there. The CG on the Banana, lower than one would expect. He's opted to just head all the way around. I don't exactly know where the organizers have determined a vehicle has to pass in order to clear a gate. But I guess the Banana got to that point. Like, if you've struck a gate and that gate is dead, is there still an amount of passage? I don't know. Everything here is so compartmentalized. Like, they only tell me the bare minimum of what I need to know. Like, there's no script. I just have to figure it out as it goes along. See how the Patagonias manage the loose stuff here? Pretty good. Well, you know, Patagonias love them some. I mean, they'd love them some blow sand, but we don't have that, so we'll just go with dirt as fine as powdered sugar, which is pretty cool. So let's see how the Banana manages gate 4 here. It's taking things slower than the Banana typically does. I'm sure that we're going to see some sort of large application of throttle, and there it is. The Banana goes with its strengths, even if those strengths are loud and dangerous. He has managed to cyclone out of it, and you'll note that there was a small pause there while he idled. And by the way, he did not hit the gate on the airborne flip, but he hit it on the second time around. So there was that pause after he tried to cyclone himself back onto his wheels, which he did successfully. And he managed to locate himself directly in the center of a tripod. The tripod that this camera angle is coming from, he was directly under the center of that. So the organizers, the gate judges on duty at the time, they just gave him a little nudge out of there so that he wouldn't knock, the camera over. So the Banana, as is his nature, is just out here trying to run stuff over. Let us see how he manages the bucket. For as he passes through the bucket, it will be the final competitor to run the Giant and the Beast. And then, oh, that was a fun noise. All of the gate markers will go back in their bucket. Because when the course is done, the course is done. Oh, my heavens. That was particularly stuck there. Some vehicles manage the bucket better than others. He is well and truly stuck in there. Could this be an instance of someone getting stuck so badly that they have to get reset? No. He'll just throw a reverse, run over gate 6, and power out of the bucket, which will close the door and the book and everything else on Giant of the Beast. 7 reverses, 3 gates for 35 points. We now move directly to Undertaker, and it is the same gent who we just saw. Last in the first goes first in the last. and I would like to lay out right now, I've been informed by everyone involved. They don't tell me a lot, but they did tell me this. This is going to be the only round with 12 gates. We're not doing another 12 gate. I mean, it's a double 6 gate, but we're not doing this again. It is, as they say, absolutely too much. So the Banana is trying his hand at gate 1, and that's a slow knock. Like, you know, he gave it a valiant effort. Didn't just hammer straight at it. I feel like a lot of rigs have known that they're not going to clear that gate, so they're just going to take the quickest route and hit it. And the way we score here with max gate points set at 19 and gates that go dead, this is like an amateur division scoring scheme, because nobody really wants to watch uncut footage of extremely amateur golfers play a full 18 holes. Like, nobody's here to watch somebody shoot a 119, you know? So it's the same way for these guys. If we had constantly live gates and we didn't have gate maxes, this could theoretically go on forever. So think of this as a simplified scoring system. There are no professional wheelers here. This is a contest of rank amateurs, and as was mentioned just a few moments ago, we have rigs built specifically to accommodate bodies. So performance, not necessarily the prime component, as we just saw this guy get completely upside down, but he's doing a pretty good job of, well, using reverse, and pulls another flip of luck, I guess we'll call it. We've seen another couple competitors, I believe the Vanimal launched himself through gate 4 in reverse and landed unscathed, but I think the Banana might have used as many reverses as if he had just run over the gate. So I don't know. So in a 6 gate, basically, if we're just breaking it down, a 114 is the highest score you could run. You could just run over every gate, pull maxes all the way, and throw a 114. Now, obviously, this is not going to be competitive, as there are definitely competitors that are going to score in the teens. And as there's no handicap, everybody has to go out and do it the same. So some people are asked to do tough stuff, and the Banana kind of answered the call. 4 reverses in 1 gate. It looked a lot worse, did it not? So now the Gate Rover is going to come out knowing that essentially, no spoilers, his primary competition in this round is the Banana. They are very similar in construction, in everything. Just Gate Rover has the much heavier body. He has some other performance advantages. I mean, they're basically built off of the same platform. Slides into gate 1, because the official scorers tell me that Yella was given a clean on gate 1, though it is a questionable one. Some folks are some folks in the background are questioning whether or not he actually cleaned it. Blue Sky High is the only competitor that has been officially scored to have cleared gate 1 here. But the Gate Rover is a grinder. It is in his nature. He's going to keep going at it until he gets up there, or until he gives up and takes the left-hand route. We will see what happens. And that is if he didn't get... Did he just get stuck right there? Did he just nestle a bumper in? Is he going to pull a rollover there? Because that will be costly, and I think he has acknowledged that he's not getting out of there. So he pulls a reset, And as he didn't fully make it through gate 1, he just struck it. I guess they just told him to go around. Here in the booth, I question some of the calls, but by the time I get here, the runs are done, the cards are made. It's all official at this point. So I'm just telling you what's happening in case your eyes don't tell you what's happening. I don't know. I don't know why I'm here, really. I don't want this to get metaphysical toward the nihilistic, but I'm just here to keep keeping on, much like the gate rover here, who's attempting to clean gate 3, which would really help him, seeing as he really made a casserole of gate 1. Little fender hooking up there. But he's clear through there. Now let's see how he manages to drop into gate 4. It has not particularly favored the big-bodied, and not just the big-bodied, but the full-bumpered big-bodied. He's sliding in, I think. Is he stuck? Is he stuck in? He is stuck in. Contemplating a reverse. Just sitting and thinking on it. Gate Rover is smart enough to take a big reverse. Will that be enough? It's still hung up pretty good. Reverse puts him on his side. This looks very similar to what happened to the banana. Okay, he's managed. He's back rubber side down. This has been a lot of work to get up here and foul gate 4 if he fouls gate 4. Okay, he's sideways again. Wow, that was respect where respect's due, gate rover. I did not expect that outcome. So he manages to get through. Takes a very unnecessarily tight line to enter into 5. I think gate rover makes a lot of problems for himself, frankly. He could have taken a big loop around and angled that in to enter however he wanted. He's clear of 5, if anything, not in a great angle. Trying to get as low as possible to execute this. That was a fortuitous slide there. Can he push this through? Oh. The fortuitous slide was canceled out by that little hang there, which hopped him forward and had to prompt one more reverse in order to get through here. Oh, and a slide brings about another reverse. So sometimes the brakes go your way, and sometimes the brakes break you. Gate Rover is going to finish up this competition in Group E with 6 reverses, 1 gate and 1 rollover for 29 points. 29 points is not a stellar score. It's somewhere in the lower third for Undertaker. But now we have little fella to see, and much larger vehicles, and there he knocks it. Wasted no time. I don't think he honestly has a long enough wheelbase to make it up that face, but the fella is not a quitter. So, as is in his nature, he will continue to go at this until he either makes it or explodes. And genuinely, with the layout of Undertaker, there's sort of an equal chance of both happening. I don't know what the scoring is at this point. I feel like it's probably going to be a relatively high number when he finally crosses through this. We'll see how he manages 3. I think if he falls off of this hill, he's effectively doomed. But he's staying up pretty nice and tidy. That's a decently high line there. Once again, benefiting from a low CG brought about by very tiny wee baby tires. And he does not weigh a lot. So he was handily through 3. Let's see how he manages now. He is much narrower than the others. Oh, that is woefully unfortunate, which indeed causes him to reset back to 3, which is up at the top. He has a lot of forward weight. Like, I think on the scale it only shows out to be like 58% front weight, but it doesn't drive that. Like, he drives like he's 70% front weight. So let's see if he can clean this out and be the, I don't know, I think 4 competitors have passed through that gate backwards. So it takes a nice, long, healthy reverse. That's the kind of reverse we like to see. So good through 3. Good through 4, except for the rollover. Now, 5 is not looking remarkably great. He's being pushed really wide right, and he's pretty well stuck in there. He should probably just opt for a reverse and pull around and try a completely different line here as those, and there we are. So fella is going to opt for something completely different because due to his size and his shape and his tires and everything else, he can't try to stay in the same wheel track as somebody who's running Class 2s. He might be able to follow a Class 1, but those tires are very small. And he's pretty much guaranteed to hit 5 at this point, and there he is over 5. Like I say, the fella is here to finish or die. And he's going to fall off of these rocks a number of times, and that will not dissuade him from his goal. He will continue to thrash forth at these gates until he gets through or explodes. So that was a very wide swing there. Straightens it back out, and he's so close. He's so close to being out of here. But his pumpkin is round. Those rocks are large. I believe he hit that marker already. He's almost well and truly stuck. Perhaps trying to warm the tires up a little to try to get over there. Little jog there with the servo, but this is a spot where it is really not going his way at this point, but he's not one to give up. And I think that the organizers should indeed offer some sort of tenacity award, because this is both inspiring and ultimately painful to watch at the same time, as he is well and truly outclassed, but is giving it a try nonetheless. There aren't many obstacles out here on the course that are small enough that he could pass them easily, and he was so close, everybody. He was almost there. There are course markers strewn everywhere. The marshals will spend an extended amount of time attempting to reset the gates to their previous positions. And he's finally through. 3 reverses, 2 gates, 1 roll, 1 gate max, 49 points. And that means here comes Bearcat, who will be given a 7. As there's the 7 and a 2, so given a 9 as that bounce was beautiful, but didn't come anywhere near the gate. So it comes up through 2 and actually appears to have cleared 2. And I think just by the sound coming off those Super Swampers, they are going to be a bit of a problem here. Didn't even have a chance to try to put it in reverse. Just the simple act of steering was sliding the Bearcat down. Takes a little loop around. Got a little squeak coming off some universals or something now. Oh, that's not a great angle. We'll try it again. Hopefully the second verse is a bit different from the first. Making the approach a little further left. And, you know, bulldozes 3. Small reverse there. Will that tire come up? Oh, he's in a bad way. He's in a real bad way. I feel like I'm just staring here watching this. Like, I don't know what happened. Oh, that's noisy. Big reverse. I'm sure there'll be a penalty there. Comes back around to line himself up for 5. Himself, herself, theirselves. The bear and the cat bounce their way through 5. Very rock bouncery there. It's terrain befitting. Have they found the move? Are they opting for the second gear trick? I believe they have opted for the second gear trick. Which around these parts, that's a viable strategy. This is a very wide vehicle. It's also very long. And is that tire going to clear? It does. So Bearcat finishes it up with 4 reverses and 3 gate hits for 29 points. And that brings us, of course, to the leaderboard. Team Bearcat went out on Giant of the Beast first. 3 reverses, 1 gate, 1 flip, 1 max, 42 points. Not to be outdone, Fella followed that up with 4 reverses and 2 gate maxes, that's what the X is, for 46 points. That was followed by the Gate Rover with 4 reverses, 3 gates, 1 rollover for 25 points. So we're getting a little better. And last up in Giant the Beast was the Banana. 7 reverses and 3 gates for 35 points. The team that is Bearcat did a good bit better in Undertaker. 4 reverses and 3 gates for 29 points. Fella, on the other hand, was indeed running up that hill. 3 reverses, 2 gates, 1 rollover, 1 gate max, 49 points. Not nearly as bad of a score, but the Gate Rover's woes continue. 6 reverses, 1 gate, 1 rollover for 29 points. And terrible or great, the best performance of the day was the Banana at the Undertaker with 4 reverses and 1 gate for 15 points. So all that leaves are the totals, because as I promised, there would be no math. Team Bearcat closes the day at 71 points. Fella lands behind him, a good bit behind him, at 95 points on the day. Followed by Gate Rover with 54 points, and the Banana with the low score of the day of 50. So there indeed is your round winner in round 2, Group E, the Banana, which I think had the highest winning score to date. And now, the final standings for round 2. And look, all their names and scores are colored now. All sorts of different colors. I'll start right off the bat by telling you what gray means. Gray means dead. Little fella's run in the Invitational ends right here and now, or whenever this took place. And a moment of silence for the little fella. And now we'll tell you what all the other colors mean. If your name is green, you are guaranteed a place in round 3. That's Lil Yella, Blue Sky High, Misdirection, Argentum, Rusty, Jolly Green, Daphne, Zoidberg, Tranquish, and the Vanimal. If their name is Pink, I guess it's Pink. If their name is Pink, you'll notice that they have the exact same scores. And that means they're going to go to the wildcard round. The format of the wildcard round is as of yet undecided, but it will only take place between Ironsides and the Banana. After the conclusion of the wildcard round, there will be the elimination round, which will be populated by the Gate Rover, Team Bearcat, Colonel Mustard, and the loser of the wildcard round. The winner of the wildcard round becomes green, and they move on to round 3, much like the winner of the elimination round. So that's how we're going to do. 5 men enter, 2 men leave. So only 2 will survive, giving us the final 12 as we move forward in the Invitational.